Bonjour, bonsoir, welcome today, bienvenue, konnichiwa. I'm very glad today to have a special guest from Japan, basically from France actually, and Morocco, Mr. Raphaël Sebbag from United Future Organization. My first question will be, how come a French like you go to Japan? Yes, it's a quite complicated story, old story, but I will tell you again. A few years ago, in early 80s, there was this really incredible night organized by Actuel at the Rex, and I used to go maybe 2 or 3 times a week. One night, an ex-girlfriend with a Japanese photographer actually was there, and we met. This Japanese photographer wanted to take pictures the next day, so I wanted to go to see actually a really nice at the center, near Pompidou Center. There was a film concert of Murnau, the Dr. Caligari. After this concert, film concert, we did go out, and she met a couple from the same town. Few months after, we become really good friends. Maybe a year after, they introduced me to a producer. I used to do some radio show called Propaganda at that time on some radio, and he gave us the idea to make a band. Time after, maybe I don't know, a few months after, we bought instruments each one, and we started the very amateur band called Paris. Maybe one year after, they were coming back actually to Japan, and they asked me to come with them, and that's why I was in '83 December. I arrived in Tokyo, and we start to rehearse actually till the next year April, and we start the first live of Paris in April '84 for actually 2 years, once a month live. And that's why I've been moving to. It was a big adventure for me to start from zero, to start my own life maybe. How did United Future Organization started? United Future Organization started around 1990. And three of us used to work in a company called Club King, and we decided to left it to start our own company. They used to produce events, warehouse parties, TV programs, radio programs, and free paper. But we wanted to actually go that way. It happened that few months after, a producer, a very good friend of us, asked few DJs and us to record each one a single and to be on a compilation. So we started from that. I wanted to do some music for quite a while. After the band I did long ago that was not connected with UFO, the band Paris, and it started like that. The first single, I Love My Baby, and My Baby Love Jazz. And it happened that it was a little hit, underground hit here in England, in Germany, and somewhere else in the jazz club scene. Because of that, and because the compilation did sell well, he decided, that producer, to do a second one. The second one, so the second single, was Loud Minority and Moondance. And this was another step. Another something happened. Loud Minority was done for actually just for the jazz dancers that was dancing for Giles Peterson in the market in Dwingle. It was an homage to all the jazz scene of the acid jazz scene and the jazz scene before the acid jazz scene actually too. It was an homage. We thought that only jazz dancer, very fast kind of new hip hop, break dance, whatever a mixture that they had this big. There are few teams with beautiful dancing that used to come actually. Most of them came for fashion shows. We used to have really great designers who brought a lot of people from England at that time, and we are completely into it. So that's how United Future Organization started. Brownswood, can you tell us about it? And can you tell us about your encounter with Giles Peterson? So Brownswood record, after the second single, Loud Minority and Jazzing, the mini album, because of that, Giles was really into that music, and Talking Loud was already there. He asked us and asked Mercury Record and in the Polygram group to sign us. So we signed, after being in very small label, we signed to Measure, the Polygram group, and we decided to, because of that, to create a small label called Brownswood Record to release all our release and the forthcoming maybe artists like Small Circle of Friends and some other project. Gilles Peterson, or Gilles, like GP, like everyone call him, I think I knew about him through compilations, and actually we strangely met when he came the first time in Tokyo with many other DJs. It was in 1986, and we did the second Acid Jazz night together with Milo, DJ Milo as well. The first one I did it with Simon Booth of Working Week. Since that, I used to come to Europe and sometimes in England, and from time to time I come to see him. It was Acid Jazz, the label too. It was Acid Jazz time, and we bit by bit, it took time. We become really good friends. And another thing that was really important to this connection was this fabulous magazine called Straight No Chaser. Paul Bradshaw and his team did this unique magazine that unfortunately doesn't exist anymore. And it was a big connection with the scene that we started in Japan as well, to connect it to the worldwide scene that was in extension at that time. I think that, and after when Talking Loud came, we continued this connection, and the connection get tighter and tighter. When we signed to Mercury, all the releases were released on Talking Loud. We used to go actually to record and finish mix the albums. Most of the albums were mixed and dubbed in England. So each time we met, each time he did come actually as well to do the release party or to play in our clubs like Blue or Yellow or Liquid Room, that we have fabulous club that we used to do monthly, weekly, and a few, once a year, like Liquid Room, big parties for the release parties. And so the connection bit by bit becomes incredible. That's how things did go. What are exactly the musical influence of United Future Organization? So the musical influence, it's a very, very complicated question for us, since we were three, each one with his own style, with own kind of vision of music, but all together, the trio, we kind of create magic. Well, the basic thing was jazz music. And from whatever, right, up, down, whatever they could come from, whatever area, the good ones, the good music that we collected, or the good ideas were sometimes, I think the major influence is what we wanted to do. Being even in a measure, nobody never did tell us what to do. All the mad ideas, we did them till the end, and we tried to make them to become something audible to everyone, years after even, to try learning how to make music and to make it good, hardly, that's it. There was there's so much. In that time we were into every kind of good things, and if you remember, maybe there was a rare groove time before, after the new wave, and after that was all the discovery of the acid jazz bring us to soul jazz music, in a mixture of what soundtracks, Latin, Brazilian music, fusion, whatever new and old we were into, and basically collecting a lot of jazz, lot of Latin, lot of Brazilian, lot of whatever, lot of everything. I think the major influence is curiosity in music, and whatever could be used, or whatever good idea could give us another things to do with it. It was put together, and it was the start point of doing some things, because we were just learning how to do, and to try to be at the feet of some big artists, of our heroes, of the great musicians of this century, and it was a major pressure to try to do some things with that. To be able to just reach little bit a major level that we were supposed to. So that's the major influence. Difficult things to do.